Secrets of Grindea. It's been some time. But the Lost Ship update is out, so it's finally time to return. Go start exploring a haunted ship, meet up with some ghosts, probably murder Luke. I mean, somehow I imagine we're not going to meet up with him and it's going to be like, oh yeah, no, I found the bracelet and it's all totally cool. So prepare yourself for that. And if you don't remember what happened last time, and I don't blame you, it's been like a year, I beat up a particularly strong Solum, gave a couple of low-ranking thugs a very valuable ruby, and we're off to go find a 1,000-year-old lost ghost ship. Which I don't remember if there was any reason why we should be able to find that, but we're going to. I don't even remember if I actually have already done this sort of outfit. I tried to theme it around using the Angel Thirst, which is a weapon that I got all the way back in Timing, but never really used. I mean, despite the fact that it becomes more powerful with the amount of cards that you've collected, and I have all of them, it still was not all that powerful. It feels like an appropriate return after some time now. But I feel like I've definitely worn that halo before. There it is. It's honestly not as large as I expected it to be. Yeah, TARDIS technology, I suppose. Yeah, good luck. I'd like to see you try. Yeah. I mean, I paid you probably an outrageously huge amount of money for bringing me over here for the very nice reception and accoutrements that you got in here. That is definitely not a cooler type of. I mean, I guess she's got the eye patch. Even though, as far as I know, she just wears that as a affectation and doesn't actually need it. So I suppose this is actually the natural progression of them as thugs, but still, it's like living your life out on the sea. I mean, look at how it worked out well for this ship. I mean, you had the animation and everything for it. Obviously, that was what was going to happen. How many hours did you spend throwing that up and down? Tempting fate, really. All right, let's go. Thankfully, somebody did install a teleport pad here, so at least I can kind of go in and out. And I will want to do that. Well, maybe not right now, but would you really consider my death to be a treasure? Anyway, can't really do anything against this guy. Ghosts, to no surprise, are entirely immaterial and do not take damage from stuff, so I'm just gonna run. Crabs, on the other hand, not so much. Man, I am very happy to be returning. Hey, wait a second, why did the crab, as soon as I hit it for the first time, explode into money? That's not usually a thing that crabs do. But anyway, yeah, I am pretty glad to be returning to Grindea. Man, it's been some time, and I did have to kind of refamiliarize myself with exactly how the game worked and everything. But it's like, I do really like its style, and I do really like the gameplay and everything. I mean, I entirely forgot how much, like, animation every single thing in this game had. It's pretty great. So as you do, any sort of haunted place, any sort of proper haunted place is going to require some sort of notes lying around. John Bones, the creator of Bones. Well, anyway, I can kind of screw around with this puzzle for right now, but there's no Keystone, so there's not really too much point. Are you guys just like transporting around femurs? Or actually just like bones entirely? Maybe his name is not actually John Bones, but he just took on that moniker after. Yeah, I know. After he got into the bone hauling business. But obviously, of course, I'm going to be talking to that person there because Well, there's not really too much to be doing until you do. Yeah, I guess Mirror was not actually all that much, despite being the Cataclysm, was really mostly only like limited to one continent is what I was trying to think of. No, I just completely lost my ability to talk there for a second. And it worked until now, kind of. So yes, of course, the Ghostbuster character slash television psychic Spengler is going to be on the Ghost Ship. I mean, we saw her going around and looking at the ghost. What was her name? It's all the way back in Pumpkin Woods. By the way, you might think, hey, you know, doing like a haunted house type of thing. It's like I do really like haunted house styles of like areas in video games, but we did already kind of do that with Pumpkin Woods. I guess that was more Halloween themed, and this is more of your traditional haunted house type of deal, but yeah. Well, anyway, there's going to be a lot of illusions and a lot of wacky gimmickry here. And also new mechanics to be brought outside of the ship. I mean, to be honest, there are actually a lot of giant spiders here, even outside of the Nether Realm. I mean, I'm here for that. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I need to be fighting those swords somehow. They weren't... Well, I guess they could have actually just been like a basic sort of... to frustrate you when you're fighting a bunch of crabs, you know, an invincible type of enemy. But, nah. Yeah, can't kill ghosts. Despite the fact that I have definitely killed a lot of ghosts prior to this point. Or maybe they just went back to the Twilight. I don't know. Looks like a teapot. I am playing on keyboard. I don't think you can play this game not on keyboard, to be honest. And you can actually bring this outside of the ship too, which I will be doing for some quests later on, including, of course, inside the Pumpkin Woods as well, because hey, of course there's going to be ghosts there. Also in timing. I mean, you could even see the ghosts without the Twilight here, but now you can go and talk to them. I like that little chest up there. That's the goal that I'm going to be going for. It's just, despite the fact that it does seem to be living, it's not going to be coming down here anytime soon. And just in general, you can see there's a pretty big difference between what the normal version looks like and what the Twilight version is. Really went all out kind of decorating up this place. Yo. Scintillating conversation. Oh man, look at this guy. Just a rope in the normal world, but in Twilight it takes on a whole new form and just starts vibing like crazy. And yeah, giant spiders too. I guess just random detritus on the floor becomes spiders. The way that the Twilight works is kind of confusing. Yes, that pirate man is in fact wearing one of the traditional sailor hats. You saw them a lot over in the... yeah, two forms too. You saw them a lot over in like the hub, and I do believe I even have one myself that I can equip up if I feel like it. Maybe it would have been a little bit more appropriate for this to go like sailor mode, but I decided instead to try and... yeah, you know what? Well, actually, I mean, I can kind of switch through that at will, but I meant to hit C. Because given that they turn into a skull and a skull and a body, it's like something that does a little bit of AoE is probably a good idea, just in general. Oh man, it's... yeah, I was saying before, it's like, I don't really know if you can possibly use this not on keyboard, because this does require so many keys to actually function. And being that it's been some time since I played it, I did do a little bit of prep up, you know, kind of playing through the basic part of this up until the major boss. Hey, cool. I mean, that could also be a good choice for the pirate theme thing. But like, yeah, I'm still getting my hands all in the wrong place. Hey, Bag, you got anything to say about this? I mean, I guess technically not like a treasure, but I don't know. Grabby hands, too. Not going to be able to do anything with that for quite a while. But I can do stuff with this, and that's kind of the more important bit. Even though I think I can also just walk right through here. Well, when there isn't the cosmic jelly from Celeste in the way. And I do believe that you can't even... Yeah, no, that is still considered like a physical object, even if it's in the Twilight. Which is annoying, but I can deal with it. Just gotta make sure that... Now, the face on that doesn't really look too good in the bottom left corner. Face on the bucket, though, looks great. And I like the Twilight a lot. I think it looks pretty good. And I'm happy that it was, oh, undo this because I do need to get the... Okay, very, very simple puzzles that are still screwing me up anyway. Let's go get Tentacle Man into his proper location so that I can stop, you know... Wait, that actually does damage to you? I mean, why even? Anyway... There we go. Got that area opened up, and I'll get a chest. Maybe I should just go with... you know what? Let's just do it already. You can easily kind of set up a lot of this sort of deal anyway. It's like an eyeball close enough to... I mean, it's only a single eye, but is that really an eye patch? Yeah, let's just go with kind of, sort of an understated metal shield. I think that that's pretty appropriate for what we're looking at here. And then, of course... Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. I guess this would kind of be like an eye patch. You know, with the hair, it actually does look about right. The colors are not really good here, but it's good enough. Let me just switch the hair to being white, and then it'll at least be the channel colors. Yes. So, monster studies, a doctorate in monster studies, which I guess would just be biology, right? I don't think that monsters are that much different. I mean, this isn't like Crosscode, where they're supposed to be created from, like, the track or something. You remember Monstar from the original, Clack? Do you remember Monstar from the original, Paper Mario? This is one tubby ghost, by the way. Wow, Bones, you really live up to your name. I mean, I've seen some people with defined cheekbones, but this takes the cake. Also, your cheekbones are as large as your teeth. And your eyes are square? As far as I know, this isn't like a mask or something. But... yeah. And this isn't really supposed to be... This is like a cargo ship, a transport ship. It's like, why do you even have this whole get-up? I guess it's because of the bones, right? It's like he got a skull on his hat because it's Captain Bones. Like like Feather Duster Pauldrons, I don't really know what the deal with that is. All right, let's go. Not the fastest type of thing. And, you know, since I am actually like, going to be doing real combat now, let's get on my cloud, buddy. It was supposed to go with like the whole angel thing where I'm like, hey, I am you know, it's supposed to go with the whole angel thing where I'm like, hey, I'm using the power of the heavens, but doesn't really work as much now that I'm going for more traditional type of deal. Should actually use this for once. Throw in the... Not like a huge amount of damage. I could see that being useful if I really need some big range, though. I mean, it's not bad damage, though, to be fair. Alright, alright. And yeah, funny enough, you do actually get some, like, for real mechanics where you're going to be switching in and out of the Twilight, which I like a lot. That is something that I was kind of wondering if that was going to happen, where I do think that they kind of expect you, for the most part, to be hanging around in the... Twilight when you're in this particular dungeon, but also at the same time, it's like, it's not 100% like that. As long as I'm kind of, yeah, making sure that I'm going around here well enough. To be honest, it's like the first time that I saw this, that wasn't enough to get through. To be honest, the first time that I saw this this fight, I was really thinking that it was going to be, that was like an impossible attack to dodge because it was so ridiculous. But it's like, nope, you just gotta be... That was not the right button to press. I told you, I'm screwing up a lot of... You know, it doesn't even matter to do that anyway. Can I grab onto my thing again? Use some of the shield type of stuff, really. Alright. And just a couple more solid hits. Hey, come on. I get it. I mean, you know, hey, if all of your men can do that, why wouldn't you be able to? I was facing the wrong direction to... No, wait, no. Get out of the Twilight there for a second. There we are. Boy, I am just... I told you, I'm rusty. It's been a grip since I played Grindea. I did a little bit of the arcade mode to kind of test that out, but never really much except for just like a single stream of that. It's like actually controlling this game is still a little bit rough. Well, anyway, this shouldn't be too difficult. Aside from screwing up at the very final here, it's like I do, unlike the rest of the series, I am doing this on normal mode because, hey, it's entirely new content that I haven't done like a million times before. I also can't like get super over leveled for this either, like I was able to do with some of the previous sections. And when you get those Solums that you can continuously fight over and over. Yeah. Alright, come on now. Let's just... When you get those Solums that you can continuously fight over and over, it's like, man, you can really out-level a lot of stuff. Okay, get taken down already. You can really out-level a lot of stuff. That's why hard mode was good for before, but it's like, now... Yeah, can't kill ghosts. We've already established this. You're also not kicking. You don't have feet. Trust me, I've done that plenty of times before. I mean, moderately. At least... you know, most of the ghosts that I've seen thus far, well, the two that I've seen thus far have been mostly unimpressive. I'm very glad that that was not a mimic that I had to fight. No, I already read this one. Despite having the cutesy little eyes and everything, it's like, you remember what happened last time I had to fight one of those things. Did you just have, like, a floating head employed before it became a ghost? Well, anyway. Oh, these guys. The skeleton wizards, which, first off, you were employing wizards on the ship? They're terrible. And also, I probably should have tried to heal up a little bit before doing that fight. Anyway, these guys are terrible because they just straight up turn other enemies into elites. I guess if you can't take them out fast enough, it's just kind of worthwhile to get their health down as much as possible to make that work for you. But it's like they also can do the whole, like, skull summoning deal as before. And hey, there you go, Haunties. What are the guys called before, like Spookies or something? But yeah, I told you that there have already been a few different... Oh yeah, there it is. The skull trail. Not some physical ones there, though, that you can still get hurt by. Should probably be starting to abuse some of my teleportation a bit more. But yeah, those wizards are pretty rough. Good, good, good. And for some reason, those are some very drippy ghosts. Gross. I think I can also just teleport past all those skulls, but that's not really... I'm not too concerned with trying to make that work for me. Really just mostly concerned about not getting killed. It's only a single button press that doesn't require any EP to get out of the Twilight anyway, so it works out pretty well regardless. Oh, nice! Charging spells, EP regen is increased. Huh. That's actually, you know, like something like this? Oh, I don't know if this is considered a spell. I can't tell if it's 20% or more. Everybody be quiet. Skeleton is sleeping. I love the Twilight. I love how it looks. I mean, really more than anything else is good to be getting some cards just to kind of power up my Angel Thirst. Because that is how I do it. Well, here, what do I have, like, for magic? Because, yeah, maybe I'll just throw a point instead into this and make that a little bit more effective. Then more dodging. I've already kind of gotten usage out of it, so why not? This entire area gives me some real, like, Celeste vibes. Even though it's not really similar at all, like the dust monsters that appeared in that game are not that close to it, but thankfully it doesn't immediately catch you with the looky eyes. It does take a second before it does anything. It's a drop right off here. I don't know, something about it. Maybe it's just like the whole, like, black goopiness is very similar to the dust monsters in that game. There comes Phanto. Just gotta make sure that it's not like a ghost chair underneath here or anything. And although you can just flip yourself out of the Twilight pretty easily... No, you can't, like, flip yourself out of Twilight pretty easily before you get caught. It's like, it does slow you down a lot, so it's not, like, the easiest thing to do that. Stupid ghost tables. Stupid Phantos. You gotta make this so difficult. I mean, all you gotta do is just go back to... there, that's what happens. But it's not difficult to deal with, but it is, it's kind of frustrating to have that happen nonetheless. Let's not switch out so quickly. Oh, come on now. Thankfully, you're not taking damage or anything like that. And they've just introduced Phanto now back into Super Mario Maker 2, which is a fun addition to the... Oh, come on. Which is a fun addition to the game, but also, like, I can't even imagine what sort of levels you would create with that, considering how infamous it was back in the original game. How much effect it still has on video games to this day. Okay, come on. Good. That'll do it. Now I should also be able to just run and kick that thing down so I never have to do it again. Oh boy, oh boy. Not a difficult section, but brulee, really. Willy Fever. Oh, but I can't take them or anything? Wait, it's been like literally over 1,000 years, and those are... I would not trust those tomatoes. Uh-huh. I think we have a little bit of a hint at exactly what happened with the ship here. I think from what I remember, they said that they were going to be going to the Mercantile Isles, but never really made it there. Oh, well, it makes it easier for creating a dungeon now, doesn't it, if I don't have to go all the way back there. Well, back there. I guess I've never really been there before. Is that the guy that I met all the way back at the beginning of the dungeon? Because I'm going to guess that you're probably going to have a lot of quests to do with each one of these, with each one of the ghosts eventually. I have played it through a decent amount of this so far, but I haven't really done everything just yet. Oh, how convenient. Yeah, so you remember like the mimic Keystone things before? The same sort of deal, except that ice I would say is actually a little bit more... Did I get it? Nah, not quite. Ice is a little bit more dangerous. The revenge of winter and all that. That should do it. Can't actually hurt this thing yourself. Obsession, it's called. But you can get it to be lit up by fire. Doing an absurd amount of damage, but also, like... Ah, come on. Light up one of these things underneath it. This is not usually how you create an oven, by the way. I do want to point that out. Oh, so close. I mean, well, considering that I can't really damage this thing myself, it's not like I have too much control over how much damage it's going to be taking. No, the ice on the ground is actually screwing me up here. Oh, come on, don't die to the Keystone recolor here. The most terrifying refrigerator since Silent Hill 2. No, I guess that would be you. So I guess he wants an apple or maybe a... God, I don't know. Steak? You know, one that's nice and rare. No, it's got to be an apple. Not that I would have any problem, like, getting fresh meat for anything, given the amount of enemies that I've killed to get all these cards to buff up this weapon in the first place. Frankly, I'm just glad that I was able to get one right now. It's gonna save me a little bit of grinding later. I don't... Actually, let's see really quick right now. How many more enemies do exist here? I guess it's really just 3 more, eh? Yeah, because living vegetables I fought back in the thing. You know, I'm sure we're gonna find out soon enough. As always, not a whole lot of enemies in here, but there also are like a decent amount of repeats and everything too, in one way or another. Hey, come on. I'd like to think that I should be fairly welcome. I'm gonna get rid of this terrible artifact that has cursed your ship potentially. I mean, certainly if the bracelet had the ability to like heal you past being dead into undeath, it's, you know, that I was wondering what exactly a bracelet would do for you. Of course, what does a crown do for you too? The gauntlet and the amulet seem pretty obvious. Bullet hell and just superpowers, respectively. Spooky. So just going into the Twilight, making bones appear everywhere. I love it. Yeah, you're not gonna fool me with that. I can tell right now. You think this is my first day on the ship? It is, but I've already seen the mask gimmick. Well, I mean, certainly if you weren't at that point in time, you are right now. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. Now, thank God for video game shininess. Ooh, also, I didn't even notice a pit looking pretty good down there. And also the doors get a lot more Binding of Isaac whenever you go into the Twilight. It's good stuff. I really like this area because I really like this whole gimmick. I was talking before about, like, fine, whatever. I was talking before about, like, hey, you get a lot of illusion and, cool concepts in your general sort of haunted house type of area. And that is definitely true here because, like, the gimmick overall is pretty neat. Can't attack that thing, apparently. Wow, it looks super goofy when you're not in the Twilight. Certainly a lot less impressive. Well, anyway, you know what doesn't exist in the Twilight? Skulls for some reason, but also crabs. They're not ghost crabs. I mean, they are now, but not originally. I don't actually know how much. I don't actually know how much each card buffs up your weapon, but I do feel like I am getting quite a bit of damage out of this. Certainly with each new update and each new amount of cards to be added, this weapon's only going to become more powerful with time. Stop teleporting into the Twilight when doing the attack here. And we'll take that. It's a neat gimmick. And this is the sort of thing I was talking about before with potentially getting some of the skeleton warriors to be more of just like a environmental hazard than... And it's just gone. To be more of an environmental hazard than actually like an enemy that you would fight. But obviously we got both now. Yeah. For all the animation in this game, it's like, I can't believe that they didn't put that one in. Well, also, it's like, if it didn't happen, would have been kind of stuck here. Unless I just use my incredible, Oh, come on! Alright, fine then. We can do it your way, sure. And there it is. A special effect for the crab claw? I'm curious. Yeah, so another switching between the... Yeah, another switching between the Twilight type of area. As always, I think, Grindea has really impressed me with, like, just a lot of the stuff in this game. Let's take down the crab first. Really did, despite not being like a whole ton of different enemy types in here or anything like that, boy did they do a lot with them. The cannonball, even just being ghost controlled, does mean that... I actually managed to get a couple of those off. Anyway, just being ghost controlled does mean that it's still going to hurt me regardless. It is still a cannonball. Ah, great, got ghost fired. And maybe I should just get like the big leap on or something, because like two-handed weaponry probably would work out pretty well for me right now. Only being on normal mode also working out pretty well too. Hence the many, many journal entries around, I suppose. I mean, it probably did cause all of this, although we do have seen ghosts in plenty other areas, so maybe it's more just the fact that everybody's undead. I don't know, it's hard to say. I'm pretty sure that they did not know that it was going to happen, but they did know that, you know, they didn't assume that you were all going to die. A ghost fairy, eh? Named Ghost. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite things in this entire area. The little bottle, the little green bottle down here that turns into a purple bottle with a skull on it. I don't know why that difference just delights me more than any other, but I do really like that change. It's just like, it's poisonous. Spooky, right? I mean, I don't even know how you get that much rum, but ghost rum? You know, you drink it and it becomes ghost? And you can't kill ghosts. Yo, it's me. Made it through here surprisingly quickly. And there's the goal for the area. Having a bartender on a ship. I'm thinking it's probably supposed to be like a Shining reference, right? I mean, it's gotta be, because that's very... It's a very, like, ghost house type reference, even though I've never seen the movie or read the book. And it's one of those things that I probably should, at some point in time, actually read, but... Or something. But, Look, I still got the reference anyway. Because otherwise it's like, I feel like a moving... something in the ocean would not be a very... conducive to making mixed drinks. Super pissed. You just standing there mixing something for years on end, and the captain, I guess, acting like a pirate and writing a bunch of journal entries around. So I do think that that's probably what I'm going to be doing with most of the ghosts in here. Because stuff like the essence of spring is just honey, for example. We found that out all the way back in the third episode? Collector's Exam, Pumpkin Woods. Yeah, the third one, right? No, that was the Flying Fortress. Oh well, but the point is, it seems like a lot of the ghosts just have one thing that they need, and then I'll be able to solve their quest line or miniature quest line or something. Ah, yes, the Unbreakable shirt. All these names are terrible, by the way. Again, I do believe the easiest place to go is right over here. I already did see the bouncer and could go talk to him right now, but... still got plenty more stuff to do anyway. Oh, come on. Another new little gimmick here, which is these circles on the ground, which from what I remember just constantly spawn a bunch of the skulls around here. Living skeletons? Living skull. A bunch of morts, really. For all of you Monkey Island references. Yeah, you thought I was going to go with Planescape. Nope. What was the name of the skull guy in Graveyard Keeper. I'm trying to even remember. Right. And it's the easiest thing to try to just block these guys for the most part, and yet I still continuously screw it up over and over. And also Skulls. Skull's not doing a whole lot of damage. It's very Hades-like right now. But they're still doing enough to be frustrating. There, and come on, like one hit left here. That should be good, right? Magical skull circles on the ground. I like to look at this area. Oh, yes, this is frustrating. And then y'all died. It was a bad decision on everybody's part. Oh, come on. That should do it. So 6-person troop means, yeah, there's gonna be 6 of these things. And it's not, like, the easiest to try and make Phanto there actually do his job right. Ah, I missed it. Come on. Actually, it's working out super well right now. And then I do believe this is the final one, which is, not my, speciality. Get that there. And no, that's not gonna work. No, okay, enough screwing around. Let's actually, like, try to get all of these at once. And then one more. That actually did it. Okay. Good, I'm not going to have to cut around that because I was doing it poorly over and over. And then I guess the bulls are just going to sit down for a nice dinner. What does fire eat? I don't know. Something. I guess like wood. Certainly no shortage of that around here. Yeah. All right. I mean, I guess it's as if you all knew this was going to be happening. I'll be seeing that eventually. A Rabby statue. Do like having the spin attack here. It's a pretty good ability overall, and I am happy that I had that unlocked. For the most part, when I go in the two-hander weapon before, I would mostly just do a bunch of the, oh yes, eyeballs. I don't know, man. That's what we're doing now, though. I'm certainly there have been a pretty big eye motif just on the walls and everything right now, but yeah, I don't know. Okay. Oh no, I accidentally unsummoned my cloud buddy. Yeah, I can hit him away, but it surely is not working out too well for me right now. Okay, come on. Oh yeah, I could also just go out of the Twilight now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think they can even hurt me if I'm not in there. It's not too difficult to dodge anyway, but I'm still doing a very poor job of it. Very cramped quarters, after all. There we are. And get rid of the skull first. Like I said, it is a very cool gimmick for the area and everything. Keeps thinking with some of the flashes that I'm about to be getting a card, but I'm not. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I win. We're as rough and tough as that was. A lot of, a lot of, this Flying Fortress type of areas. Of Professor Pine. Oh boy, you actually managed to survive the Cataclysm and then died here. Wow. That is... that's rough. Tanny, of course, died after the Gundam incident back there, which was entirely unsuccessful taking out Zombamir anyway, so... Yeah, there you are. 4113. I'm gonna guess that it's probably something along the lines of something I gotta go back to Flying Fortress for. Already done this puzzle before. Yep. Hi! Just some cosmetic stuff for your house. Which, I mean, I guess is kind of interesting, but more interesting is this character hanging out here. Sure. And why not? Restless Spirit. What do I even want to replace? Probably the camera lens, perfect guard stuff. I mean, I could definitely use a lot more attack speed, really. Can't stand being idle, though. Does seem like it might be something of an issue. And yep, that's what I remember doing. I was just wondering if by standing around enough that you might be... Hey, come on, man. That you might be occasionally, like, possessed by the ghost, but no, it's just... It's that object. It's that object. It's not just something that happens by being in this area. Oh, there's no ghost version of the pants? That's kind of disappointing. Yeah, it's still not doing very good. They've rebuilt a lot of stuff around here, timing not one of them. I can probably manage to do that. I mean, they now have a give an item to a character sort of interactable interface, and I guess that's kind of what we're going to be having happen here. Very poor planning of the way the ship was built. Anna Begaire. Anna Begaire. I have no idea. Gotta get you a mirror, I guess, or looking at the background here, maybe use the camera? Looking good, especially the cloud. Oh, you're gonna go make me do the other phase shifting puzzle thing, aren't you, to get this guy something. I do like the ghost versions of the... Oh, there was like a ghost version of the phase pad over there, but I guess it's now turned into a regular one. Yeesh. I'm not, I did a little bit of the Mount Bloom phase puzzle. Not a lot, but, I know enough to know that I don't want to do it again. Here, I can probably get this. Got it. Okay, there we go. Just had to be very, very careful. And I guess, like, I don't know, give me that instead of the Lucky 7. Why not? That's a very... it's not really something that I think is extremely important at this point. Math-related things. Don't even need that anymore. I'm all kinds of done with math. Hey. What are you looking at me for, I? Yeah, pressing spacebar is not working too well. In fact, it's just making a bunch of eyeballs appear. Well, can't say I didn't see something like this coming. What I didn't see coming was the effect that accessory I picked up would have on this fight. So it took maybe quite a few tries, and that's why I'm doing it post-commentary now. Yeah, the astute viewer might realize that it did lower my defense by like 200, and dying in 3 hits is not great when the boss is going to be spamming this many laser beams all over the place. Yeah, this was the point when I finally realized, and I was like, oh! Oh. I mean, the damage is good. Look, I just wanted to get rid of the 7 accessory that I've been rocking since the previous episode. I'll always read item descriptions, kids. So yeah, the eyeball is the evil eye is a very, I guess, pattern-based boss. Always does the laser beams, followed by summoning a bunch of exploding eyes, more laser beams, and then one gigantic laser beam, basically, as you'll see very soon. Hey, if you have an eyeball in a video game, it's basically the law that it has to shoot lasers out, regardless of how much sense that makes. I guess the idea is corneas and... Yeah, I'm just looking at the colors. I wasn't even looking at the symbols. Look at the top, look at the right, and then kind of line myself up as best as I possibly can. Hitbox is actually pretty generous, but still, it's quite a scary fight, and also one that really makes me glad that I did not do it on hard mode. But yeah, lasers, and where you find one eyeball, you find a million. That's the video game rules for eyes. Ever since, like, Zelda, it feels like pioneered, you know, having 5 or 6 bosses entirely based around eyeballs. And those cataracts are the other thing that make this fight kind of annoying. Mostly, you can get away with dodging a lot of these attacks. It's just, the cataracts don't actually do anything, aside from make your screen darker. But even despite that, I will still kind of go out of my way, putting myself at some serious risk to destroy them just because I find it annoying. It's not even that big of a deal, it's just the fact that they're there and the fact that they're messing with my screen was too much for me to handle. So yeah, I can't destroy those eyeballs, but you can hit them away, and that's... again, take advantage of the generous hitboxes, because this guy is... You can't just warp out of the room like you could before, since you are entirely trapped in the Twilight for this fight. I mean, I'll look at the description for this guy later, and that's what it literally says he does. That's red. You see, I was looking on the right side there, so I very nearly got hit. No, wait, I was fine there before. You know, I've had like the shield and the teleport on as kind of like a standard part of the whole build that I've been working with this entire game, and yeah, it's a good idea. You can really warp your way out of a lot of stuff. Not this. Can't warp through fire, so do remember that. But at least when you're near the end and you're maybe just barely not going to make it. And then, because you're still messing around trying to kill all the cataracts, there we go. Like I said, they don't even do anything. You don't even lose that much of the screen when there's a bunch of them on here. Besides, if I remember to... I think at some point in time I accidentally hit S, which desummoned my cloud, so I didn't even have my cloud buddy here. Otherwise, it would be helping out a lot as far as... Well, yeah, there now I summon it back up. It would help out a lot as far as getting rid of some of the more minor enemies. And then for the final phase, it just straight up turns into, like, Mr. I from Mario 64. And I guess with the way that it's rolling around from Mario Party 2. I've played a lot of video games. Yeesh. This thing is not too difficult, but good lord, to get like a not completely embarrassing fight where I just tank my way through everything would be pretty difficult. That's what I'm talking about, where normal mode was a good idea here. Eyeball is also completely invincible while it's doing the spinning around thing. Which is a problem because it feels like there's not a whole lot of opportunities to really get some good slashes in with a two-handed type of build. If I was going a little bit more ranged, I could probably like throw down ice or something to have it roll over that, but this was more of a melee build. To be honest, never really did too much with the magic builds. I should go try to make that work next time there's another update for the game. Surprisingly, you know, despite like going around all randomly, you do have a lot of time to avoid those lasers, which is pretty good for me. Of course, the big thing with this entire fight is that I still have a lot of trouble managing all of my buffs that I can put on. By this point in the game, you do have a lot of skill points, and even though I could be putting on like the electric boxes and getting my like basic buff for damage on my E, and stuff like the potions working for me. It's just, there's too much going on. You wouldn't really think that a game like this would have such a complicated, like, MMO-esque rotation, but it does. That's just how it do. Okay, and at this point in time, I just start to kind of be like, I'm gonna tank my way through this a little bit. The two-handed sword also made it a little bit difficult to you know, dodge a lot of attacks because I'm in the middle of swinging. Even if you're like trying to cancel your attack using the shield, I don't know. It's too many things going on. God, I hate that thing. And even in the real world, the gigantic eyeball, eye socket remains. Oh man, I do think that yeah, power to imprison things in the twilight. Look at that animation. Neat. This truly be the work of the artifact. I mean, I can't really imagine what else. Maybe it just has some sort of connection to the twilight, even aside from incredible scientific advancements that have happened here. Because that's kind of the only thing... Right, you know, I did actually have, like, a whole quest that I was doing. I should remember that. You know, ancient magical artifacts can sometimes replicate what we have in the current day pretty well. At least if fiction has anything to say about it. Sure. Alright, and Bouncer, which is, of the ones that I've seen, at least the easiest to get to. Yeah, I should probably really pay more attention to the items that I am equipping before big important fights, eh? Well, anyway, not that it really matters too much. Yeah, there's a piano version of it. Also, I do like that even outside of the twilight, the chairs do have a very distinctly skull-like quality to them, don't they? At least when up against the a rug like that. All right. Yo, here's a cool shirt. This shirt. I don't wear shirts. Are you looking at me? Roughly a full millennium late. I don't know, even as a ghost, I probably wouldn't want to float above that pit of Binding of Isaac monsters. Seems like it's just a bad idea. Boy, I hope I get some, I hope I get my healing potions up soon, because, you know, given that I'm going to be going directly into... Sure, why not? Given that I'm going to be going directly into John Bone's office again, it's, should probably be a little bit more prepped up than this. Well, 3 people more lively. It's a skeleton key. And it goes into John Bone's quarters, because this game is stupid. That's a start. I wouldn't even say that that's the problem. Hooray, talent orbs. I guess I can probably just up my like dodge rate one more time. Why not? I guess, like, you know, occasionally dodging an attack, especially if I am going to be using that skull ring, is a good idea. We already fought. All right, then. He summoned a JPEG of a moon. Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing. You live in just a place with one gigantic... Hey, stop that. Live in a place with just one gigantic staircase, eh? Not really the sort of room that I would have, but getting some real Mario 64 vibes here. Do you mind, Restless Ghost? Trying to get a grip and figure out what's going on here. Yeah, this is just the starting house, all the way back in Startington Village up on the mountains. So yeah, illusionary, eh? And hey, your mom's still alive. And also changed her hair once again since the last time I saw her. Which I believe it was, just completely black, right? Luke, eh? Well... got some bad news here. You know what? Oh, hey, even, Spring. Been times since I've seen your very, Sailor Moon villain-esque face. Sparkly face, if I'm remembering the line correctly. At least one of them. What is this statue even supposed to be? I guess Charlotte, probably. And if I'm remembering correctly... well, it's a weird dream world, so we get weird dream gimmicks. If I'm also remembering correctly... oh boy, what a strange type of gimmick here, but hey, it's also one that... what else are you going to be doing? Ah, yeah, since you can push this one from the top. Do that. Do this. So then I can push this one from the bottom. Fortunately, still not enough, but hey, you're just opening up each side for the Sokoban puzzle eventually, and then can do stuff like this. Well, not like that. This is probably a very easy thing to implement, but it is a fun type of puzzle in that way. Neat. Not an equipable weapon, by the way, which is very disappointing. When I saw that for the first time, I was thinking, it's like, oh man, I can't wait to equip up a bad wooden sword again. Hey, I'm working on it here. I still love you. Oh, come on. You're not gonna fool me with your crazy moon magic. I wonder if that Mr. Moon guy had anything to do with this. Probably not. Why does a captain of like a cruise / cargo ship have moon magic, by the way? I guess maybe over 1,000 years of being undead, you can figure out some stuff. Things that lie beyond the veil and everything. Hey, everything's still totally fine if you just go back into the upper right corner of the mountain. Well, anyway, let's continue destroying everything. Why not? You're not even trying, are you? Well, I mean, the jig was up, basically, since you got into this place, but still. Yeesh. Hey, I did pretty good, all things considered. Certainly a little bit more intense than the one that They're certainly a little bit more intense than the one you got all the way back in the Flying Fortress, eh? Good. Nope. Better. Done. Ah! If only I was better at this. And this one's just literally impossible. Maybe if I could task it, there might be... Hey, I didn't realize we were continuing. Well, now I can't even hold out the shield. Oh, he doesn't do it until you guard. I was wondering about that, because the first time I just did it immediately, but, like, it's timed in a way that it's just not possible. Still can't equip that. Man, I want cool illusory type of weapons. Those are the best kind of weapons. Hey, now that's a little bit mean. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Winter was still a good guy. He just got possessed and whatever. Oh, man. The little coughing sound effect is also pretty good. That's the reason. Your old self is why I wouldn't have invited you here. I'm sure you might be a lot nicer now, but still. Also do like that, you know, just like literally destroying this entire place is akin to just being a real jerk in Marino's mind. Alright, well, one more to go. Ah, dang old slimes. Happened to me like 3 times last week. Neighbors turned into them. Well, needless to say, not really the most, Oh, that's clever. Each one of the things. There's like cool... I saw Shido, which was like the shield that I got. There's Tanny, Simon, Melito, Rudd. I don't even know who Rudd is. Herot? Captain Bones. Okay, come on. I don't really care that much about Captain Bones. Brandy, the guy that I gave that really, really old alcohol bottle to. Shake is already a ghost. Restless Spirit, do you mind? Take that, Zomlamir. Of course, that was more like a dream version of a human, but close enough. Still not a real card. Oh, come on. That's a little bit presumptuous. Is that big old moon, JPEG? I don't know. To be honest, I like how this looks a little bit better. Can I actually leave? No. that would be interesting. Hey, it's Bishop. Which is a guy who appears to be like literally thousands of years old with untold magical powers. Thanks for coming in here when I already had the thing entirely handled, by the way. Even though I still do not trust this guy. He looks like an Organization 13 member. Yeah, I'm pretty good, aren't I? And slowly walking. Of course, the Restless Spirit kind of giving me a boost here. I do think I can also just do that for speedrun tactics. And then I'm just stuck here. Until I interact with that, I guess. Because it's only fitting to return to the world by touching a globe, eh? I know you've been around for 1,000 years. I missed the dialogue that I could have had with the young version of Bag all the way back in Tai Ming, but it was possible. The oh emote says it all, doesn't it? Alright, I do like that. The Curse of the Moon? Oh man, I never actually played the Bloodstained remake. But I assume that it was exactly like that. I know what you're gonna say. But I was able to overcome him by getting the card of a human. Kind of. Well, hurt. Yes, thank you, Bag. As always, the true hero that this game requires. And unfortunately... Hey, when I said at the beginning they were probably going to be murdering that dude, I am... yeah. 4 if we want to count you. Hey, yeah, the magic of being a silent protagonist, eh? Ten of them, in fact. Then I do believe you can also... God, your teeth are gigantic. It's weirding me out. And also, it seems like your forearms got shorter or something? Or actually got longer when you became a skeleton. Man, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, not really what I was hoping for as far as items go, but alright, let's just do this already. Look, I went through a lot to get out here, and... Can't open that, of course. Looking good. He might not be dead, but he certainly does not seem to be doing... does not seem to be living very well. And he's wearing it. Yep. He did. He did give me 1,000 honey at the festival. Yes. Do like that they gave him the full-on villain laugh. You don't usually see the like reaching up towards the heaven Dio style going on. Yeah. You remember how ungodly strong he is, right? Pretty standard ability for collectors. I mean, I'm using it myself right now. But yes, I fully expected this fight to take me quite a few tries. I only saw it for about 5 seconds before I started up doing the episode proper. But as it turns out, I managed to do much better than I thought I would with it. So first up, I really thought during the initial attempt that I was doing at this fight that it was going to be one where you're not actually supposed to be fighting. You see how he's starting to bust up the ship and everything? I was thinking maybe instead of attacking him, you're just trying to get him to fall below. No, the ship just heals over time. You really do actually have to fight Luke here. Unless there is some sort of gimmick to the fight that I am entirely unaware of. Yeah, his shockwave attack you can actually stay in between, but for the most part it's also easier, especially with the teleport, to just jump behind him too. Luke does strike me as somebody that would be much more difficult if I didn't have like the teleport and the shield on. Yeah, which I'd like to say is proof once again that I made the right decision by using that over and over. And I do believe that these are all two-handed weapon abilities just in general. The whole like throw and get the thing back, hitting around the balls I believe is one too. And I know that like a big slam, I don't think it does like a lot of shockwave attacks, unless that was maybe one of the very high-level versions of it that exist. But really, the big thing is just kind of wait until he's done attacking and decides to, you know, have a good hearty laugh. That's the, oh, come on, that's pretty easy to dodge, all things considered. But yeah, where he starts to have a good chuckle, that's the opportunity. And he will do more attacks in a row without doing the chuckle as you get his health down. It's kind of frustrating. Yeah, he's even got like a spin move. Much better than I do, but, well, that's kind of to be expected. Yeesh. Never really used that ball attack too much. Seemed a little bit too gimmicky and difficult to use. But I mean, Luke, it's like, what else is he going to be using? It's not like he's going to be getting the buffs and the magic. Not his style. And the guy doesn't even understand exactly what the bracelet is doing. Now throwing down lightning and fire. Again, unless that's a very, very high-level charge ability, I want to say that's more Zamamir's influence on him. Just running around in a circle, basically. Hey, especially when you're going up against somebody who... Yeesh. Yeah, there you can't just teleport behind him, which is rough, but as long as you know that he's going to be doing an attack like that, you can kind of prep up and make sure that you're in the right position. Between the shield and everything, I was actually totally okay standing there. Could have maybe gone for a couple more parries, but, well, I think just dodging and then going in for an attack whenever he's vulnerable is kind of the best way to do it. Wow, that was actually like way better than I thought it was going to go. I managed that one, yeah. Huh. Cool. It's true, it's true. And with the amount of defense that I was putting out there, even if you can take down an entire mast, it's like, you see how good that bubble shield was? Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, of course. But hey, at least it's not a full health bar. I was really worried that there was going to be a second phase here. I have no idea. Maybe we got... Oh, great. Oh, great. He is going full on... Oh, he's going full on Berserker style, which is a good ability. I do like that one, but also... It is worrying. Be able to heal there. Oh yeah, he's taking a lot of extra damage because he's using the Berserker style. I shouldn't forget that. Bracelet? Where are you? Yeah, your health bar is getting super busted up, by the way. Just keep stalling it out until I can get my bubble shield back up. Thank you. Man, it's a good thing Zamlamir does not have that. Well, actually, I guess he kind of did, didn't he? This is... Alright, this is pretty good. Wow. To be honest, I did not think that I was actually going to be murdering Luke. Alright, well then. It was a pretty good fight. Yeah, in reality, as you know, the collectors do have actual, like, life or death missions at their hands, after all. Well, let's go see what throwing this down it means, because I'm not really sure where we're going to be going from... Wait a second. Actually, I don't remember. Did they move them out of here? That might actually be the case. Which, I mean, I don't think that is kind of in the cards anymore. Yes. Bag. Like, were you actually trying to revive Zom Lemire, I think is the real question. Well, this is kind of the last one to find, right? That's all 5 of them, really. And Crown ain't got nothing to say. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so maybe we should just, like, you know, kind of... Wait a second. I am pretty sure that when we beat Zomlamir the first time, that was all the artifacts. Oh. The thing that killed your wife. Of course. Should have seen this coming. His name is actually Pouch. He's been possessed for, like, literally years at this point in time. Oh man, this thing? Oh, it's been so long. I was wondering if that was actually going to be... Wow, really? I was wondering if that was actually going to be relevant in the future. I thought you were going to be like, you know, shrinking down to go inside of it, not that. Yeah, I got it. Well, you know... Nah, I mean, we saw what happened to Luke. He's probably gonna die. Right, I did entirely forget about the sword there until... I think that was also included when he originally beat Zomlamir, but didn't really come up again until right now. So I guess, yeah, that's going to do it for this part until the next bit comes out, but there are still a whole bunch of quests to do, which I'm going to be switching over to right now. And first up, we got the quest that I knew was going to be coming, getting the rest of the ghosts here for one rockin' New Year's Eve party. Because they all wanted something, and some of that stuff I might have actually had on hand, like getting the fairy some honey, but most of it was just objects that I knew were kind of hanging around in one way or another. For example, you saw all the way back in town, there was a guy looking at a mirror immediately as I warped in. And there was an entire cutscene about giving him confidence to not be so vain and everything like that, but completely forgot to record it. Unfortunately, as soon as I turned off that camera, I talked to that guy and I realized the horrible mistake I made. And I wasn't going to go roll back the save file solely for that. So that's how you get the mirror for Anna Big Hair, or whatever her name was. which was a pretty easy one, but not every one of these quests is so easy. For example, Professor Pine did require, getting a code from him and then figuring out where you had to type that in. Given that, the Flying Fortress was kind of his home, it's no surprise that that's where it's supposed to be used, but I'm doing this little lore bit first that I unlocked back with the time travel abilities from Timing, just to give a little bit more context for what I'm about to do here, because otherwise it would be, the object that I'm trying to get would be a little bit nonsensical. Yes, if only you knew. You could have just tried working on a larger and more impressive laser sword. Oh, well, not that it matters. Even if you survived, you would have ended up dying on a ship and floating around there for a millennia. Boy, these guys really did not get out of this good, did they? Oh, well, and Phase Man was a total punk. I liked his Mega Man aesthetics, but didn't really help him too much in actual fighting. Also, yeah, like the last thing, the thing that I'm going to be getting is a cruise ticket, which is also another just great little coincidence given what eventually happens. To paradise, if you will. And then this is all the way back where I fought the Guardian Crystal mini-boss thing. I don't believe that this door was here before, but there's also another part of the Flying Fortress that seemingly appeared with the last update as well. You'll be seeing a little bit later on. What a... I do like that, make sure that when you get up in the middle of the night that you're really watching where you're walking, because there does appear to be a gigantic hole just in the middle of the floor. Well, of course, with everything glowing like this, I suppose it wouldn't be too difficult to see. Man, Dead Set was a little bit unfortunate way of phrasing that, too. Oh, well, don't worry. Her efforts to create trick phasing will not go in vain, unfortunately. I don't even know where I got a tomato, but hey, I mean, when he's talking about Juicy Red, I forgot that, yeah, maybe that was one of the ones that didn't entirely rot away, and I didn't even notice that I managed to grab one there. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Oh, yes, one of the ghosts, I can't remember her name, does start following you around after you talk to her because she's just looking for her husband, who is up on the second floor. It's pretty much the exact same dialogue that you saw before, but that explains why there's yet another ghost here. How could anybody have seen that? Well, anyway, I do know there of one ghost that does require a head around here. The idea of your body and, head being two separate entities in death is a scary one. What if you got, super dismembered? Something about this, especially that outfit, really reminds me of one of the party members you could get in Chrono Cross, who is also a skeleton, like a skeleton jester. I think it's really that sort of a thing that he's wearing around his neck, the frilly deal. That has nothing to do with anything. It's just I thought that was one of the weirder characters you could get as a party member in that game. Well, I don't even think it's upstairs. I think it's just literally over to your left. How large is this ship? And then I could go get the ferry to be getting to the party right now, except I didn't actually have any honey at the time. Yeah, despite the fact that I've had literally thousands of it over the course of the game. I somehow, I guess I must have sold all of it before this. I mean, presumably I would like to think that the fever was natural, but the whole, like, undead curse that was happening was a result of the artifact. It's hard to say. Yes, unfortunately, I did have to become an expert at that. Boy, did I. Oh, and the shopkeeper is not invited to the party. Of everybody hanging around in here, that was the one guy who didn't really get it. I'm honestly surprised that they managed to get reuse out of that animation. I'd like to think that fairies have like a second sense for that. So yeah, one of the guys was asking for a book, and this is really the only place that you would find a lot of books. It's not like it's the most obvious thing, but there's not really too many other options for me. Don't phrase it like that. And then this. One of the other guys in the ship is created this trick phasing course, which you can find immediately to your left in the when you enter Mountain Bloom. And I didn't want to do it because I thought that it was going to be entirely optional and that I didn't need to do it. But oh, for this quest, as it turns out, yeah. Well, thankfully I didn't have to do everything because in one of the previous to this update, I did make an attempt to get a little bit of this done, and I did finish the upper part of this area. Specifically, if you go directly up from the entrance, I finished that bit. But the other two bits I did not. And because that was required, and I was really hoping that I was just going to do this and find out, oh, I didn't actually have to do it at all, or no, you do. because the guy wants to see the fruits of all his labor in person once again, and that means that I do actually have to solve basically everything. I guess technically I didn't have to get all of the items here, but God, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. It's a phrase I like using, and it's definitely appropriate in this area. And maybe I can get like a gas mask, a doctor's lab coat thing going on for the next episode. That'd be amusing. It's a bold look, especially for this sort of setting. And this one especially is really rough because everything lines up that you really just got to figure out what area you need to have things angled rather than having like the timing done. This is one of the few things where you need to have the timing done correctly. Where right at that last one, more than anything else in this entire area, that one bit where you had to make sure that the barrel wasn't about to be electrified and shoot your way into a mirror 3 times was the most ridiculous. Anyway, that's the ultimate prize that you get from this. When you use it, your phase body, I don't know what you call it, turns into a heart instead of just a ball of light. But the more important bit is getting Kylon here into the party. I hope he appreciates it. Yeah. Yeah, there's that little demonic version of the phase plate there. For some reason, it transforms into a regular one after you use it once. I'm actually a little bit surprised that there wasn't like a secondary sort of objective to get a super difficult trick phasing course done in the ship, but at the same time, you know, you're already stretching disbelief enough with how large it is. That's fine. I mean, just the wood paneling in here alone would be like 3 entire forests. So yeah, just checking up on everybody and occasionally accidentally swinging at them with the sword. I don't think they mind, given that they are already ghosts. And you also get like a surprisingly deep look into what it means to be a ghost in the Secrets of Grindea universe. What a very specific, like, thing to bring up. Whatever. You can still, like, write stuff down. You can work with other people. Sure, like 2 to 4 days might not seem like a lot, but but you don't have to sleep or anything. You just spend a couple hours trying to learn all the stuff you learned previously. Get right back to it. Or take a break. Whatever. Retire. I don't care. I think that of all the ghosts, the bouncer is my favorite. Something about just a ghost whose only goal in, well, not so much life, but death, is to wear a shirt that accentuates his pecs. That's the sort of thing that I think that we can all aspire to one day. And yeah, you don't need to actually get every one of the ghosts to get some sort of prize, just a certain number of them. And I thought I did get all of them, getting an item that allows you to summon some cosmetic spiders around you. But there are 2 more left that I still need to get. First off, the one asking for a kimono, which I guess I had created? Maybe it was in the timing episode. It was one of the recipe crafting things, because that's the only place I can even think of as to where you'd find that. Well, it saves me a trip to timing, I guess. Even though I'm going to be going there anyway for lore reasons. And also one more quest. But then the other ghost took me actually a long time to figure out. In retrospect, it's very obvious who it is. It's just, you can't talk to them. That guy. So everybody else looks like they did in life, minus being entirely white and light blue. But this guy does appear to be a skull that has hands. Was he always just a skull? Was he just like a flying head previously? Well, either way, I suppose I'm not going to be able to find out, because it's not like I can talk to him. You need to hit him around into the very conspicuous water puddles around here. After I could not find any other ghosts, I even had like a possible candidate that exists outside of the ship that could have possibly been it. I finally came in here and just was like, okay, what could he possibly do? Well, you can hit him around. And then, oh, right, there's all these very conspicuous water puddles. It's very obvious when you think about it, but it did take me an embarrassing long time to figure that out. As usual. Maybe going like a two-handed weapon was not the best idea, but hey, I managed to make it work anyway. A little bit clever, but yeah, I mean, he does look this ghost janitor does look the exact same as all of the other ghosts around here. I mean, I was also thinking maybe it could have been like John Bones, but nope. It's just a kind of obtuse puzzle, but it's obvious when you figure it out. It's like Skull House back in Baba Is You. Which, gee, I wonder why I would be thinking of that right now. I wonder why. Of course, they eventually fixed that to have a different level immediately in front of it that kind of taught you the whole concept of what you need to use to pass that one in the first place. In other words, I had to figure it out when it was at its hardest, and I didn't. It was the one of 2 puzzles I had to look up in that entire game. And by look up, I mean ask people on stream. One more. Well, 4 more, but you know what I mean. Actually, 5. They just tile very well. Don't even get a name for the janitor. Just want to finish swabbing the deck. Then when you swipe at him, it clacks his jaw. I don't know, whatever. Would have been nice to get that earlier for the whole... I mean, I guess it is a one-handed weapon, but still. I'm not going to do the pirate thing again. You already did that in this episode. And really, I think I would have probably rather have had, like, the whole angel get up for the moon curse bit, but oh well. No, I don't know. I really like Angel's Thirst. It's a good item, and it's only... And I think at this point, now that I've gotten another 4 cards, it's actually starting to really, live up to the promise of being something extremely powerful when you get all the cards. Before, it was not even as powerful as the one admittedly cursed sword that you would get from the timing ghosts, but it's like here it's starting to become... I mean, it's only got like a little bit less attack speed, but it has higher attack power, marginally. Maybe someday. Maybe someday when the rest of the cards are added, it'll be as overpowered as it possibly can be. The Obsession card didn't even factor into it. Why am I still hung up on the fact that wasn't real? I don't know. Because as the card said, I wanted to collect them all. No, no, Veg, not no, yes. I mean, yeah, obviously. It is just an accessory, and when you have it equipped, Bone's head just follows you around, occasionally shooting fireballs at enemies, but it's, you know, it's something. You also occasionally get some extra dialogue based on what area you're at, too. Now, if you're not actually trying to kill every enemy you're coming across, it can be sort of an issue, which will be coming up in one of the future parts pretty soon. There he is. And then that I'm just going to switch out for the Restless Spirit. I like the Restless Spirit, even though it is kind of annoying, and I had to remove it during the trick phasing sections because sometimes I was waiting on a little bit of timing. No, not that one. God, I hate that they called it that, by the way. Yep. And I told you. They're two very similar areas. And, actually, you know, this graveyard, or that gravestone has been there the entire time, but it wasn't until now that it actually does something. And when I was talking about one of the characters that was off the ship that might have also been, you know, one of the other party members that you were looking for, I was thinking of Temmie specifically, because she's just like the most obvious one. You already got Pine on there. Why not? And then, I just got done doing the other trick phasing course, and now we got the secret one. Well, at least this isn't 3 different ones that I had to do. And yes, I am going to do this one. It's also got a time attack mode, which I won't be doing. So, yeah. Look, it's hard. In reality, it's not that hard. It's like more puzzle solving than anything else, where you don't really have to be waiting for specific timing. You just have to be looking for what angle you need to hit everything off, because the obvious route is sometimes timed to be impossible to get, like one of the, like a couple of the things. But then you also get that stuff like the barrel getting electrified, where you have to shoot yourself in the mirrors 3 times, which is a lot tighter than you might think. There are indeed ancient high-tech treasures. And yeah, this area was definitely not here in previous updates of the game. Or if it was, I have completely forgotten about it. Yep, no, absolutely not. I mean, look, I have fought like 1,000 bone guys, which I guess you would technically call skeletons, and taken their bones over the past couple hours here. Okay, it didn't take that long. Over the past, like, 40 minutes. But I'm not gonna go dig up somebody's corpse. It's been 1,000 years. It's dust in there, man. Also, oh sure, Temmie didn't require any sort of memory jog in here, eh? Just wanted to see somebody do her course. And as you can see, not actually all that bad. Really could be way worse. Of course, like I said, there is a time attack mode, so it is in some ways a little bit worse. But hey, at least everything is set up so that you can go through it pretty quickly. You just gotta realize that you're not supposed to shoot for the barrel down there, you're supposed to shoot for the mirror. Or maybe you are supposed to shoot for the barrel. Maybe that's the faster route that you would need to do for the The really advanced timing stuff. Maybe. So close to getting that one in one. I mean, with a barrel only going one direction, it's easy enough to figure out what you need to do. This one, though, a little bit more difficult. But just looking at where this thing is actually facing makes it simple. And this you just shoot out as fast as possible. And there I'm betting if you just mash the button you'd probably be able to get through just fine, but wasn't really that necessary. It was okay. I'm just you know, he got killed by the laser cannon. And I guess that's probably a lot less painful than, you know, getting crushed by the giant hands. By the stompy hands. Why? No, you're not going to fool us with that. John Bones already attempted that. That name, by the way. I could have just keep calling him the captain or whatever, but his name is John Bones. Yeah, I already tried to do that trick. Doesn't work that way. Ghosts just kind of hang around here forever, I guess. FT1 was just hanging off screen the entire time. Nope. I'm betting you could probably get an entire outfit rather than just a headpiece, but I'm not going to do that. Absolutely not. Then back on the beach, you do have another quest for the camera, which you might have seen in the upper right corner the entire time, but as far as I know, doesn't really have too much use aside from this. Yes, and the two characters that she's photographing right now are the Steam banner for the game. It's that same blonde girl casting some sort of fireball and brown-haired guy holding a sword, which is a cute reference, but unless I guess you were playing this on Steam or looked at some promotional materials, it wouldn't make any sense at all. Alright, 3 pictures, all pretty easy, though unfortunately one, John Bones' head does not count as a picture of a ghost in a graveyard, which is ridiculous. He is clearly a much cooler ghost than the generic, bedsheet ones. But whatever. I mean, I took him off and I went and got the other couple pictures pretty trivially because, they're fairly easy conditions to fulfill, all things considered. Pretty sure those are the same ones that you saw back in the festival in Nevergrind. Not that big of a deal. We'll have to kind of start up the grinding phase of the enemies to even get that many spawning. Charging Boar is... well, it's not the worst, but perfect guarding is a little bit tricky. That's why it did take me quite a few attempts, which I cut out. Pretty good, and I decided not to kill every single one of those slimes, even though I was really tempted. Because, come on. That guy, one of the first NPCs that you talk to in the entire game. Also, yes, I do have those spiders hanging around me because I activated that object. I don't know why I did that. It's distressing to see it. Well, anyway, yeah, the camera is a shield. I don't know. And this rum I did get when I was going through the ship, handing it off to Brandy because, well, who else is going to drink this incredibly old alcohol, I guess. Even reminded you of that by doing that whole slime bit in the Curse of the Moon section. Wait, how come it worked for him? Everybody else just immediately comes back? Is he going to come back in 20 seconds and be like, boy, yeah, I could really use some more brandy? So yeah, and then I'm going to go around here and talk to each one of the ghosts because, well, they're here. Ghost Dog, surprisingly enough, does not have anything to say. Yeah, I know, big shocker. Not really too much new information. It's kind of everything that you've seen before, but do kind of feel bad for Mundy there. Especially as I already removed Shidu from the place that she was being kept, and now just kind of hanging out in my inventory because she's completely unusable. Despite being 1,000 years later, still lasted. Alright, let's get the cards and finish this up. I suppose before I get right into the cards, should probably talk to these NPCs and see what happens if I try to enter the tower. Hey, it's Archie, all the way back from Timing. He was the guy that sold you all the objects that were otherwise going to be permanently lost. I understand that. Well, I kind of need to, unfortunately, given the way that the story has been going. Also, yeah, there's John Bones just kind of hanging around. Ruin, I think I saw back in Dragonbone Dunes? I think these are just like generic kids in the town, if I'm remembering. I mean, it's crazy huge, but only vertically. It looks actually very tiny. Well, I mean, I'm sure, you know, TARDIS technology. And this person I do not even recognize at all. Yeah, it used to just look like a little tiny tower here or something, which made it seem like it was going to be some sort of... Yeah, somehow I had that feeling. No, I'm going to be playing the old Doom game after this. That's right. I'm announcing it here, even though I've already said that. Yeah, I mean, look, I've already done all the side quests, fishing, and arena. Not arcade mode, but... Hey, I already did most of it on hard mode, just not the most recent stuff. Yeah. Literally just the ghost of the developer appearing to tell you you can't go any farther than this. All right. Well, here, first off, you got the phase resequencer. I like that each one of the mysterious parts, well, each one of the parts of this is just the same thing being said after you look through a thesaurus. Good stuff. Haunted blindfold? Maybe? I don't know what slowly drains your life means, though. It doesn't seem all that great. Crabby armor. I mean, I'm actually using the crabby shell right now, just because, hey, extra defense. Wizard poncho, warrior poncho. I guess that's what you call them. Mantle, maybe I would have gone with. And it looks real good. So not a whole lot of new items, but hey, at least I got the phase resequencer. Get that cool heart-shaped phase ball going on. And then as for the card album, well, that almost makes me feel bad for killing so many of those guys, but not really. That's about right. Basic attacks deal 5% more damage. Sure seems pretty good. Not like casting a level up spell on one of your compadres, because that's mostly what I remember the Skeleton Wizard for doing. And Haunty. Yeah, that's about right. Let's actually take a look at the enemies too. Very territorial and very populous. I'm pretty sure that they like jump up from the floor. Not so much that they fall down on they were falling down on me. Yeah, hard to say. I guess that I guess these things are not actually any part of the crew. They just kind of appeared there after the portal to the Twilight was blown open. Interesting. They're like a legion entity. And their hands exist to pull things through the veil, which is why you can get like the skeleton hand from the wizard. Mastery of telekinesis? Oh yeah, I guess it does throw around the cannonballs, doesn't it? Sure, fair enough. Yeah. We all know ghosts don't actually die. Ghosts don't die, as they say in Mario 64, but I don't remember what the rest of the... It's like one of the few bits of dialogue in that entire game, and I don't remember it. And then Haunty. Last one. Ghosties. Why did I think they were called spookies? Well, whatever. I do like that one of the things that having the Twilight teleport thing that I've already forgotten the name of does allow you to go back and fight the regular ghosties even if they are invisible. That's a nice little touch, but also I would think probably something that was put into the game at the same time that the Haunties were. They're basically the same type of enemy after all. Really, that's his... sure, why not? Both the physical and mental fighting styles, and those guys got like a bunch of souls trapped in them. So I guess he was a man of many talents, which is why he has the ability to like cast super powerful curses. Sure, why not? And Evil Eye's last one, Luke does not get mentioned. Fair enough. Yeah, I already saw this, and it definitely was the work of the artifact. That seems to be its whole thing, that it just pierces the veil of Twilight and all that. And before I go, I am going to go back because there is one more thing in Pumpkin Woods that I forgot to show off that I think is amusing. So yeah, like, one of the abilities of the artifacts that Mira is going to be having just straight up makes you invincible. Which I guess would be why, you know, they had to seal him in the first place, because unlike Luke, he wasn't going to be taking that off anytime soon. Hey, come on, Blumo. Well, I do wonder how that's going to happen in the court... Wait, no, I went too far. How that's going to, like, actually happen in the fight that I'm eventually going to have to do with the guy. Or maybe I'll be able to prevent his resurrection. Not usually a thing you see in video games, though. Yep, just, like, totally unique little sprites for these guys. I guess it does make a little bit more sense now that you see that, but yeah. Alright, next time. I guess it's going to be the final dungeon of the game.